every day is a bigger battle because of my condition.
Sure. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
I don't know if people are as aware, but you are a man who lives under the spectrum of autism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have something called Asperger's. I'm on a higher functioning side of it.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody there's good days and there's bad days.
Absolutely.
For me to now, because I'm in my house, this is comfortable. I know we're comfortable. It's easy for me. But to go, I went out to store today. This is give you the perfect example. I go out, I have to leave this house, go out to the store, get stuff, come back, make lunch. Okay, that's all I have to do. And then what we're doing right now. Now, for anybody else, it's easy. Well, for me, it's about 150 times harder. Sure. Because I don't want to get out of bed. I have to force myself, my brain is saying, wants to not go out. I don't want to be around. And if there's noises, like right now, we have leaf blowers out here. They're making our area look pretty, which is great. I'm not used to it. Different changes. Oh, I'm off from work. What do I do all day? I have to have a very rigorous schedule. Like, I'm very organized. With my condition, it is severe. I was telling you before we got on, the other day I fell. Now, everyone's like, oh, you fell. No, I had what's called an episode. My brain, there is a difference between seizures and what I have. As it was explained to me, basically my brain zeroes in on one thing. Okay, I'm doing this the whole time. When it's over, my brain says, restart, turn everything on. Boom. And my brain, I get overloaded and I have what's called an episode. I take CBD oil for that. It's part of my life. When I'm sparring, when I'm training, that can happen. If what I call my levels, if anxiety, stress goes sky high, boom, it's game over.
Right. Now,
I'm able to control it when I fight. What's really cool about me when I'm fighting is I can control it because, okay, I'm saying on the other side, I got to beat this guy no matter what. I don't care if he's not knocking me out. This is my house. And then afterwards, it's like 5-10 minutes later, the brain says, all right, Jay, we're done. Whee! We're going to turn you up. You're going to, and then for like a minute, 2 minutes, it's scary for some. 2 minutes later, I'm just like, did I do good? How did I do? Win or lose? Like I'll know, like, oh, hey, how I'm doing. If I lost, okay, whatever. I don't care about winning or losing. I've had a lot of people go to me. They're like, oh man, you lost that fight. I'll be like, so next. Right. You learn more from your losses than your successes. Sure. So, oh, I lost. Big deal. I took one day off and I'm back in the ring on Monday. Okay. Yeah. But my condition is that it's a struggle. It's an ongoing battle. If I don't have structure, the day's gone. When I'm at work, my job understands it. I tell them, I said, look, when I come in, I'm in at 9. From 9 to 10, I will have everything ready. Don't worry. I will have this. Just let me go. You ask for an update, I'll give you an update in 5 minutes.
Right.
Okay. They will let me be. So it is an ongoing battle. For the last, let's see, Parasite left at the end of August. So September, October, November, December, January. All right. So I'm going on probably almost 6 months on my own.
Okay.
I've been on my own periodically, but I've always had somebody within striking distance of, hey, are you okay?
Sure.
I've scaled back that a little bit where, okay, I'm on my own. What do I need to do? I'm actually reteaching myself how to be an adult.
Right.
Now, for a lot of folks, dude, you're 38. You should know this. I'm like, yeah, but when you're being held the whole time, and then that's gone. You're gonna reteach yourself.
Absolutely.
So that's why God bless whiteboards. Whiteboards and notebook paper are my friend. I think I've killed more trees than anybody.
Keeping your
Sorry to
daily
everybody
journals and your notes and
Yeah,
your schedule.
sorry to everybody that says save the environment, but they're like, well, why don't you go computer? I'm like, I'm a guy, give me paper and pen, and there's Post-it notes all over the house.
Absolutely. I understand that too. With myself, I've had a history of working with people under the spectrum. The very first client that I ever worked with was a gentleman with Asperger's. And I can understand when you're speaking, I can relate to exactly what you're talking about. What took me out of the workforce that I was working with people, was I myself began having seizures. But they weren't identified as seizures. They were identified as episodes. And very much like yourself, the reset occurs. I'm focused on the one thing. I'm all in. I'm all in. Go home. Go big or go home. And I'm right there on that. And then, like what you said, man, the brain has its reset, and for a few minutes it can be scary. But once it's through it, then it's like, hey, how's everything going, man? How are you doing? What's up? And people don't really understand how it is to look at someone like that, because they almost think it's like two different people.
And it's very hard for some folks. Like, I work with the Athletic Commission of West Virginia. They, because I do a lot of fights in West Virginia and and a couple of the promoters. And they know about the autism. They don't worry about that. Like, even when I go, if a lot of you guys have ever gone through what I call the day when you fight, the day you show up, the day before you fight, you weigh in, you fill out paperwork. It's always fun. I love it. Being sarcastic, it's just like you want to be able to eat after you weigh in. If you have to cut weight, you feel it. The day you fill out all your paperwork, and if they know you pretty well, they're like, here you go, it's already filled out. Don't worry about it. Okay, weigh into them. Then next day, the doctor will be like, you good? Yep. I literally go through that, and they know I'm autistic. They know about my condition, and they say if there's anything serious, let them know.
Right.
If you have a good corner crew, a good coach, they will tell me, they'll let them know. That's a good corner. A good corner crew will always, boom, no problem.
Absolutely.
And I tell them that. I said, as long as you have a good corner crew, I'm good. Any one of my fights between street beefs, amateur, I've always had a solid corner crew. And, they know the moment, hey, Jeff will need this. Or like even Sunshine, who helps with street beefs. She'll tell who's ever cornering me, when this happens, you give him this. Otherwise, it's game over. Okay, boom, give him his oil as soon as he's done fighting. Right. And I always tell him, wait 5 minutes. They said, why? I said, I'm good for about 5-6 minutes. Afterwards, you got to, because the brain just says, okay, we're out of the situation.
Right.
Because I'm making sure, I'm like, oh, am I okay? Okay. You're okay. You good. So
yeah. It's amazing, and it's phenomenal to hear this from you firsthand, from your experiences as well, because with the history of myself and what I've done, I've always been interested in how that would transpire over onto a combat surface for someone like yourself, and being able to hear this from you and gain a bit more understanding. It's fascinating to me.
I'll give you I'll give you a couple good examples.
Okay.
One of the scariest times.
Okay.
Ever. I mean, and it was scary, because we knew going into this fight how emotional it was. It was me versus one of my ex-roommates. Now, me and him had a history. He bailed on me. Stuff happened. I kicked him out. We came back and we fought. And everybody at Street Beefs knew how emotional that fight was.
Right.
It was a beef fight, but you think about it's been building. So all this occurred in February. We're fighting in August.
Wow.
So we're building all of this. So you've had 6 months of just emotion. And
right.
in Street Beast, I'm sorry to say it, the amateur boxing crowds aren't as loud as the Street Beast crowd. Okay, I love amateur fights. Don't get me wrong. I love the pro fights. By the way, WrestleMania rules because I'm WWE. I love WrestleMania.
Awesome.
UFC, you can't compare it to when you hear everybody screaming at Street Beefs.
Yeah.
And you know this is the fight that everybody has waited to see. And it just, boom. The scary part was afterwards, you know, we hugged, everything's all good.
Yeah.
We go back, we had a nurse, she checked him, he was semi-okay. I want to tell you what, he wasn't feeling it. I sit down and my brain, everything comes out, like all the emotions for 6 months, boom, hit, and I'm shaking. They thought I was going to put me in they were going to put me in a car, take me to the ER, because it was so emotional that my brain, and I told him, I said, guys, this is going to happen. Like, I pre-warned them. I said to a couple of my friends and my coaches, I said, get ready. This is not going to be pretty. I said, as soon as I'm out of the cage, you sit me down. Like, I was planning everything in advance.
Right.
Because I knew I knew the part of my brain that I was still sane before I go in the cage. I kind of switch over to Demon. Right before I switched over, I told him, I said, just get ready. For about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, people were, one of my buddies was crying, upset because they witnessed like all my emotions.
Yeah.
I said, guys, I'm sorry this happened. They said, no, dude, you need to let it all out. 5 minutes later, my mom calls, says, is he okay? She knew something was wrong. She could feel it.
Right.
Everyone said he's fine. He had emotional. It was an explosive. What was he? The other time was we had a amateur fight. It was an amateur fight in West Virginia. And the dude I fought, we went at it. It was pure. It was a heck of a fight. Stopped him in the 3rd round. We get back, and I'm celebrating. I'm like, I can't believe I did this. 30 seconds later, after everyone took pictures of me, all of this, I was like, yeah. I was so out of it. There was one of my guys was going to fight a fight after me. They're all like, I'm just like walking in the ring. I had like 2 sodas in my hands. I'm like, and the promoter knew about my autism and said, hey, Jeff, you want to sit here, buddy? Sit here, man. I'm just like, you got it. He goes, did you take your medicine? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you feeling good? Yeah. He goes, you took a lot of CBD oil? Yeah. He goes, you drink, and I like drank 1 soda, and somebody came along, threw the can away, and I'm just like, the dude unfortunately lost. My guy lost, but I was just like, kill. We went back. Everyone's just like, you went from so emotional to mellow in about 10 minutes.
Right.
And it took a while, but that's what happens with autism.
Sure.
Everybody on that spectrum, from level 1 to 10, is so different. You could be a level 4 1 minute and be, you have autism?
No way.
They don't believe it.
Yeah.
But that's the spectrum, and that's what I deal with. Like, depending on the fight. Like, if it's an emotionally charged fight, if it's a fight that, here we go, you put on. My last fight, I lost, but the dude was 6'5". And he gassed out after the 1st round, and I kept pushing it. It was a great fight. It was my best fight ever.
Yeah.
I didn't have an episode until we got upstairs in our locker room area. Then I pounded 2 things of oil, and I felt good. And it was like 30 seconds later. Boom. I'm like, can we go again?
Nice.
Like, I was ready. I would have fought their heavyweights. I was like, let's
Yeah.
go, let's play again.